Hello and welcome to my book nook where I talk about all things books. Today I have a pretty crazy idea. So earlier today I had filmed like a little update video for my vlog that is scheduled to go up a week from tomorrow. And I had in a prior clip that I had filmed even earlier in the day, I had said, I gave my update on my writing and all that, and I said, I was going to take a break and I was going to focus on reading because I have a writing challenge coming up. And that writing challenge is it is July 2nd through the 4th. And that is hosted and created by A.K. Mulford. And it is round 2 of 30K in 3 days. Yes, you heard that right. Trying to write 30,000 words in 3 days. And I participated in the first one. Absolutely loved it. Had a blast. It was great. I only succeeded in writing 20K at the time. However, due to the way my schedules were, that was way more than I thought I would be able to write. And I was really proud of the progress that I ended up making because I wrote 10K the first day, which was absolutely mind-boggling. And then the second and third day, I had a change of environment. So the first day I was at my mom's, and the second and third day I was back home. And I was back in mom mode and wife mode, and I was only really kind of able to write at the end of the day, so getting 5,000 words basically each day. I was really proud of that, and I am still really proud of that. I wrote / edited basically 20,000 words because in that particular draft I was actually physically rewriting every single word. Even if I was keeping it, I was rewriting it because that was part of my editing process. And absolutely loved it. And so when we were all talking about how we couldn't wait for another one, we'd kind of were at the time throwing around the idea, or AK was throwing around the idea of doing another one in July. And we all loved it. And so it was formally announced that we will do round 2 in July. Round 3 is scheduled. Round 3 and 4 are actually already scheduled. I don't know if posts have been made about that on YouTube. However, they are on the Discord. So if you want to know even more details, I'm going to have AK's channel and the video they talked about this challenge linked in my description box. Absolutely go over there, join the Discord. It's a great crew that we have over there. But I decided, here's the crazy bit. So I guess I have to give you a little bit of backstory. So earlier today, right, I said I was going to read. And then almost immediately after I filmed that, I was like, no, I'm not. I don't want to read right now. I want to write. There's something in me right now that is just you need to write. And this is a story that I've had for a while. So I have book 1. Its running title that doesn't give anything away is Project Inkbox. And I guess book 2, I'll call it Project Q, like the letter Q. And Project Q is it's part of an interconnected standalone series. So there are 4, possibly 5 books planned right now. 4 for sure. And the first 4 at the very least follow the same siblings. So they're interconnected because they're all within the same siblings, but you don't have to read each book to be able to read the next one. You get better, you get more out of the story in my opinion, but you don't have to. And so I've known about this second book for a very long time. Believe it or not, I actually had the plot for book 2, this Project Q. I had the plot line for this one before I had the plot for Project Inkbox. And so I have been dying to write this story for well over a year now. And I'm still really proud of the stories, and I knew the reason I had reasons for why I switched the stories around, the order and whatnot. But I've had this story and these characters in my head for well over a year now. And I just finally am at that stage where I feel like I can start actually writing their story and doing them justice, and not feel like I'm abandoning the first novel that needs to be published before I can release the second. And so I think that's part of this desire and this drive that I have to want to write it. And so I am going to pull a page out of AK's book, and I'm going to attempt to do a 30K in 3 days on my own before the challenge officially starts on July 3rd or July 2nd. So what I'm going to do, so the first novel I ever wrote, like the first draft, mind you, and that's what I'm just keeping, is just the first draft. The first draft, I still have not gone back and watched that video, but it took me at least 10 years. There's a part of my brain that thinks it took me like 15 years, and that's very well possible. But I have to go back and watch that video when I did the math then. But at the very least, it took me 10 years to finish the first draft. Yeah, 10 years. Project Inkbox is the first story that I have finished since then, which, you know, was only 3 years after maybe, but from start to finish, I finished Project Inkbox, I think, in 4 months max, which is a massive improvement. This time around, I want to see if I can write Project Q, at least the first draft, dirty drafted, not caring about word count or anything like that. I want to try to write the entire first draft in 3 days. If not, for sure, a week. And had the entire first draft done. Which is crazy to think about, because if I manage to pull that off, I will be flabbergasted, but also so flipping proud of myself if I can. So that is my goal, and which means for the actual project of the readathon or the writing challenge, I'm either going to have to start working on book 3, knowing that book 2 had just been finished and it's rough. But again, they're interconnected standalones, so I technically could start working on book 3. Or, actually, no, I can't even work on book 2 because I always need at least a little bit of time in between that first draft and then when I really start making it bleed and making it a good book. So yeah, I would have to either sit out the challenge entirely or work on a different book, which book 3 would make the most sense, which is crazy to think about. So I'm going to figure that out next week. Like the week of like July 2nd. So like right before that challenge starts, I'm going to have to figure it out in that time, because this upcoming week, so the week kind of in between now and when that challenge starts, I'm going to try to write an entire book, and I'm going to take you guys along the journey for me, like with me, and we're going to see. I have no clue if I am going to create or write a vlog about all of my reading and whatnot that I'm going to be doing in the meantime. I may make the snippets and we'll just kind of play around with them. I also may not, and then just you'll get those updates when I kind of do a reading wrap-up video. But I think I want to try writing my entire novel in 3 days, and at the very least a week, because I'm also going to, be with my child by myself while we're dog sitting. And so, gotta work with the limitations on that. But I was so successful at my mom's house too. I have some high hopes. So we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna take you guys along for the journey. We're going to, in one video, if this works out the way I'm hoping it will, in one video, we are going to have the process of me writing this book from start to finish in one video, which is crazy to think about. Oh my gosh. I'm literally so giddy and excited. And it's crazy. So it is currently Friday night, and I just finished writing, and I have, today alone, I wrote just shy of 2,000 words. I wrote 1,888 words. There were already some words in the document. I don't know how many. They were just like small little snippets that I had like put in previously. So it is very well possible that I have 2,000 words to start with. I don't know for sure, but I have tomorrow that I'm going to be here at my house still in the same background with my kid and my husband and my dogs. And then on Sunday morning, my daughter and I are going to my mom's house. And so I think I'm going to force myself to take tomorrow off, especially because I'm going to have to pack and read and all that. So I'm going to take tomorrow off. And then on Sunday, I am either going to start writing again, like, and really hunker down, or Sunday is going to kind of be like a prep day. I think Sunday might be a prep day. Maybe between now and the end of Sunday night, I might tweak my character playlist, because I do have some music playlists as well for these characters. Maybe tweak them, because I don't think the original playlist that I made quite works out anymore. But tweak that, and then maybe Monday just hit the ground running and try to crank it out like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Or maybe we'll just hit the ground running Sunday. I don't know, but this is gonna be fun, and I'm so excited. So yeah, I haven't told my friends I'm doing this. We're just gonna tell them afterwards. They're gonna call me an idiot. I'm so excited. Let's do this. Hello, so this is officially the first clip of my writing challenge. So I am at my mom's house. You are gonna see this angle a lot. This is my favorite chair at my mom's house. It is so comfortable, and it is way too hot to be outside because I live in a desert. So I will not be writing outside in the like egg chair right behind me today. I'm going to be sitting at this chair, and this was the exact spot that I sat in when I cranked out my the 10K that first day of the last 30K challenge. So we're just recreating that. I'm in my chair. I've got a table right to my side with my coffee and snacks. I've got my laptop here that I'm about to plug in and go. The dogs are chilling. We're gonna get some of my typical coffee shop ambiance noise that I listen to. Gonna get that up and running. And well, first I gotta do switch out laundry, but otherwise we are gonna sit down, we're gonna crank this out, and we're gonna see how much I can write between now and when I have to leave to pick up my kiddo at like 3:15 is when I've gotta like leave by. So I'm a little more nervous for this story because last time I did it, I had already finished the first draft. I was in the middle of the second draft. And I say like I wrote 30K, and that's because some of them were new words. And some of them weren't. I do think by the end of it, I did end up adding like 20K new words, which is what I'm saying for that challenge and whatnot. But I was also physically rewriting words. So like between draft 1 and draft 2, I made the decision to go from first person to second person, or not first person, second. That's completely off. From third person omniscient, I believe is what it is. Third person omniscient to first person. And so I did completely, I couldn't just copy and paste into from first draft to second draft. And so I physically had to rewrite every single word. I didn't have to, but I chose to. And it was an easier way for me to edit through as I was writing as well. And so last time I did that, I was able to, I had a framework, whereas this time I'm literally just working off of the plot points and the plot beats and whatnot. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm optimistic. So I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to start writing, and yeah, I'll check in with you guys later today. Maybe at noon, like a halfway point. I don't know, but fingers crossed. Let's see how this day goes. Check-in time. So I am done with my first like big chunk of writing time for today. So it is that time where I have to be done so I can go pick up my kiddo. Depending on the level of cooperation, I'm going to come back and write, but I probably don't see that happening, so I'll probably be writing once bedtime rolls around. But I'm not mad at where I am today. I am at basically halfway to where I want to be. So in total for the document, just because this is not a spoiler for you guys, I'm just not telling anybody else what I'm doing, but in terms of the document, I have over 5,000 words in it. It's like 5,130 something roughly, which is great. Um, like I have it, my Scrivener set up that I'm aiming to hit 30,000 words in the document. Technically speaking, I had like 1,000 or 1,200. I think I had like 1,200 words in there before I started. But you know what? We're leaving it in there. I'm not counting, you know, I'm not going to do 30,000 new words and all that. We're just trying to hit 30,000 words for basically 3 days, is what I'm aiming for. And again, if not, remember, I've given myself that week. I have also set my target deadline to be this Wednesday, so that'll be the third day. So aiming for end of day. If I don't hit it, then I will extend it out for the week just to see if I can do it, and like seeing, because like I have it set up so that it tells me roughly how many words I need to hit each day in order to hit that target. So that's why I have it set up that way. Um, but my kiddo goes to bed pretty dang early. So I foresee myself having a lot of writing time tonight. Plus, I'm like really starting to hit my groove. So I think the rest of the night's going to go a little bit smoother sailing. I have had to stop to do some like admin type um, work and whatnot earlier, like throughout today. So I definitely didn't get to write as much. And I also had more distractions and whatnot. Um, but one of my friends who I introduced the sprinting bot to absolutely loves it and uses it for um, like some homework stuff, but also just kind of like as a timer. So even if they're not using it for like writing sprints and whatnot, they use it as just like a Pomodoro timer. Um, but they are, I think if they're not off work now, I think they should be soon. So by the time that I sit back down again to write, they will probably be working, like doing homework and whatnot. They're like a college student working full time and whatnot. Um, and so I think they'll be up and using the bot and as well. So I'll have like somebody to like for sure body double with. I haven't really had one much of today, and if so, it was just like very minor. Um, so I'm hoping that between hitting my stride, being a night owl, um, I will definitely kind of keep going with this momentum and whatnot, and then having that body double person, I think that'll help with how much I'm able to get done. If I don't hit the full 10,000 today, it's not the end of the world, but we're definitely gonna, I'm really striving for it. I definitely think it is still possible. It is 100% still possible. I just have to make sure I stay focused. And I think part of my issue too was I was worried about like my plot outline not being fleshed out enough because it's very bare bones right now. But like it's a first draft. It's a dirty draft. You just get it done. The second draft is when you make it pretty. You can add scenes. Heck, in my first book, because remember this is the second book in a series, interconnected standalone. But the first book, I had a very detailed plot line. Each chapter had a plot point, and it was like very well broken down. And even then, I still went in between my first draft and my second. Like, I guess calling it either draft 1.5 or 2, depending on when I technically started working on it. But I still added in, I think, like 3 or 4 chapters. And then I also completely reworked my ending, which was basically ended up being new chapters, anyways. Um, and that was with a very detailed, fleshed out thing. So it's like, it's fine. I know I can do it. Um, I'm also doing a different process where, with my first draft, one of my alpha readers and like best friends and whatnot, like my springboard, I was sending the book to them chapter by chapter for the first draft. So they like saw all the real, like the rough stuff. They saw all of it. Um, I'm not doing that with this one. This one, I am holding the first draft to myself, other than small little snippets and whatnot. Um, and then I think they're going to get the second draft. I think I'm going to write through this first draft, get it done. And then I think my goal is to be done with enough time to take a little bit of a break. And then next week during well, I guess for you guys, when you're going to be seeing this is going to be either in a couple days, or if I get it done this week, then this is, actually, no, I have a different, dang, dude, I totally forgot my YouTube video is dropping this Wednesday. So my reading vlog from previously is what's going up this upcoming Saturday. So I need to edit that. But I guess this is going up in a week regardless. So hopefully I get this done and like before this video is going up, like with enough time to be able to have a little bit of rest to then do the 30K in 3 days, but do it more as like an editing thing, which kind of like how I did the first draft of adding in chapters and making it pretty and or prettier and whatnot, and then send it off to my alpha readers for them to tear apart and whatnot, and then start actually working on like proper edits and whatnot. So we'll see. I'm playing it around by ear, but I have to leave to go pick up my kiddo. So I guess I'll check in with you guys later. Hello. So, it is now 10:40 at night. I'm pretty tired. Hi, Oliver. I'm gonna just say hi. Hi, bud. Anyways, I did not reach my 10K goal. Today I wrote over 7,000 words, and Scrivener is being really weird. Like it's telling me that I'm at like 73,000 words for the doc, like for the manuscript, which I think feels about right. Either way, I'm on chapter 5 already. But that I only had 1,000 more words to hit my target for the day, but like my target was supposed to be 10,000. Unless it's just calculating it a little bit weird for my challenge. I don't know. We'll see what it does tomorrow. Either way, I know that at the end of tomorrow, I'm hoping to have 20,000 words. So we'll see. I definitely think it was 100% possible to have hit the 10K goal today. I got started really late today in terms of writing, and then I also spent a lot of time, like I think 2 to 3 hours after my kiddo went to bed tonight, I just wasted on my phone, which I absolutely could have spent writing and then hitting the 10,000 word goal that I had for today. So tomorrow I'm going to be playing catch up, and we'll see how far I can get. So, I mean, either way, I've definitely learned some things about myself and my writing processes. And, like, when I put my mind to it, I can actually write a decent amount in one day. I also just waste a ton of time. So, tomorrow's goal, A, drink more water, B, not drink coffee and see if that helps. Because that's also messing with the water part. 3, get up and move a bit more, because I have a really bad habit with the Pomodoros where like I will just immediately start the next one and not get up and move. And so I'm going to make it a goal tomorrow that I have to get up and walk around in between each Pomodoro, even if it's just like to the end of the room and back, or from one end of my mom's house to the other, whatever. Just I need to be able to move. Because moving outside is not an option in this heat. And then just trying to spend less time on my phone. Like, unless I'm like actively eating or whatnot, like I don't want to be writing or like watch or like actively taking a like long break. I don't want to be watching any YouTube videos because I know that also killed me. And there's a new app on my phone, like it's a puzzle game that I've been playing, that I'm having a lot of fun playing, but I can easily get sucked in. And so just continuing to keep that of I can only play like 1 or 2 rounds like in between Pomodoros, and that's it. But also like trying not to do too many of those, and maybe just saving those for breaks and whatnot. But we'll see. Either way, I'm really proud of myself for what I've done on day 1. Because, 7,000 words is nothing to scoff at. So, yeah, I'm making great progress. Like I said, I'm already on chapter 5. It's great. None of my friends really know what I'm doing right now, and only one of them knows the plot of the story. And even then, like, I briefly told it to them. So, my best friend, who I call my springboard, they don't know what's going on with this story. All I've told them is that I'm like, I'm trying things differently this round. So, yeah, we're gonna keep chugging on tomorrow and we're gonna see how this goes. But so far, I'm liking this new writing process that I've got going on, and I will be sure that regardless of whether or not I finish draft one at my mom's house, when I get back to my house, I'll like put my phone up on the tripod so it's less shaky and just kind of wrap up my thoughts on my writing process and what I've learned and all that. But yeah, my arm is getting really tired. I definitely think my phone is shaking, and I'm tired, so I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hello. So it has been about 48 hours since I think I have last spoken to you. So last I spoke to you was Monday night, and it is now Wednesday night. Yesterday I got really nauseous out of nowhere, and I was exhausted. Like, I tried writing, and it was like pulling teeth through like the deepest, densest brain fog. Um, so I was like, you know what? We're not going to do this. We're going to take a sick day. And I just basically did nothing productive yesterday except maybe read. Um, yeah, that was yesterday. And then today I did kind of like a self care day and listened to an audiobook this morning. So I didn't start writing until like 11. And I started writing. I hit my groove. It was great. Then I had to stop to go pick up my kiddo. Um, and then I realized that there is some timeline stuff that I gotta like iron out the details for, because like it's for the overarching series. So they're interconnected standalones, but like I have an idea for like how all of the stories, granted they're through siblings, but I have an idea of how they all connect. Um, and I just need to make sure I have my timeline like lined up correctly, and I need to like iron out some details because this is the only story where like it actually matters. Um the timeline, like, it's a lot shorter of a wiggle room compared to the others. Um so the problem is the person that I need to like talk that through with um is currently dealing with a personal family matter and has family in town, so they're just really busy right now. So I'm hoping that they'll get back to me tomorrow morning because they totally forgot to do it today, but that's fine. It's my best friend, so it is what it is. Um, but tonight I hit 10,000 words on my document. So I basically have had 2 writing days and I've hit that 10,000 words. And I have come to realize that the 30K in 3 days, I love the concept. And I love the idea of just getting words out as quickly as possible. However, I've realized with my ADHD brain, at least on my own, like, because I'm just doing this by myself, there's nobody else doing this challenge with me right now. I realize, at least on my own, I can't do that. My brain just does not work that way. Um, it was a lot to get it done, the 10K in that first day, the last time around, and then at the next 2 days after that, I'd only gotten 5K each day. And I've kind of come to realize that I think between like 1,500 to 5,000 words is about my sweet spot, um, where I can get stuff done and hit my stride and also feel like I've made a deep, like a good dent in, without also like overexerting myself and making it so that I literally can't do anything else during the day. Um, and so I think that's just something I now know of myself, of just my brain physically just, I don't know if it's because like, yes, the idea is you get as many words out on paper as you can, as fast as you can, and you edit in the second draft. However, the way my brain works is I am a planner, like, or I'm a plotter. I am not a pantser. I am a plotter, and so I have the storyline plotted out, and I know what's coming next. But I don't just want to throw words out on there and be like, I hope they're good enough, and if not, like, I'll cringe and cry later. Like, I want to try to at least do a somewhat decent job. And so I'm not like mad dashing, oh, I'm trying to hit 30, 40 something words per minute of, no, I'm actually thinking about what I'm writing and still trying to leave good bones behind so that for my next draft. And so I, I really need to travel with a tripod because adjusting my phone while recording is real interesting. Anyways, so yeah, I've just kind of come to realize that about myself is that I just I need to be able to work in time to do other things, and to allot time for like my ADHD and whatnot. But I love the idea and the concept, and we have, like I said, like with all of this, is I have the next official round coming up next week, as of the time that I'm recording this, at least. And I still want to see if I can get this draft done before that challenge starts. If not, that's going to be the first goal, is to finish this draft during the challenge. But if it is finished, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to like distance myself before editing this one, but I might. So I don't know what I'll do. That's, I guess, like I really need to get closer to the challenge and figure it out. And I also just realized it's the 2nd through the 4th, but that's on Australia's time zone. And the way that lines up is that basically means the 1st through the 3rd, I think, for me, based off of how it ended up being last time. And so, yeah. I will know for sure closer to, but like if it was like last time, obviously I started a day early and I ended a day later, which is fine. And it totally worked out last time. But like, if so, that is like hardcore in the middle of the week. Like, that's not even like I have a Friday. I think that's like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which means technically that challenge starts before this video is even going live. I think. I don't know. So, yeah, I have no clue what's going to happen. This is going to be really interesting. And yeah, and especially too is because I am dog sitting on like starting the 2nd, I think, 2nd or 3rd. And so I was like, oh, cool. Like, I'm going to be dog sitting again. And it's like, no, I'm definitely not dog sitting on the 1st. Like, I will be at my house. So yeah, we're just gonna have to figure out what all is happening and play by ear. But I'm happy, like, and that's the nice thing about doing this challenge solo as well, is I really am able to figure out how my brain works. And it's not just I'm sucked into the hype of everybody else is doing it, which is great, and I absolutely love it. And the productivity. I'm pretty sure in AK's vlog that they had done while recording like the last challenge, they'd kind of said something similar about how that was their most productive, like the most they've ever written in a 3-day challenge before. And so I just wonder if it's one of those things where like those really big numbers for me is only going to happen when it's like in an official setting. And if it's a solo challenge, then I'm just not going to hit those numbers, and that's okay. I definitely love still the idea of trying to like fast draft it, get it done as quickly as possible. But 3 days is just not possible for me. Even if we're not counting yesterday being a sick day, this is technically day 2. There is no human, it's not physically possible for me to write 20,000 words in a single day. Ignoring that I have something happening in the middle of the day that's going to totally just like cut my writing time like majorly tomorrow. Like, there's just no way to write 20,000 words in one day. So definitely not doing it in the 3 days. It is possible that I could potentially still do it in a week. I am not getting my hopes up, but we're gonna try and we're gonna see. But it is like 10:30 at night, so I'm gonna get these dogs situated for bed, and then I'm gonna go read, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Hello. So I have no clue when the last time I updated you guys was. It's truly been a while. So first off, the writing challenge I'm pretty sure today was the last day or yesterday. I don't know. Either way, I completely ended up failing that. Didn't end up actually participating. Um, technically. I have been working on my novels and kind of ironing out ideas and whatnot. But definitely nothing like on paper, just kind of like mental gymnastics and whatnot, but that's okay. Thought up of some more characters, like kind of like filler characters. So, like the best friends of the main characters and whatnot, started filling that information out because, like, you don't want your, like, especially at a romance, you don't want it to just be the main characters. You want them to have friends and lives and to feel like a real person. So I've been fleshing that out. Um, and then working a little bit on the fantasy story that I had the idea for. And like I said, just kind of the overall timeline of my series and whatnot, and just smoothing everything out so it all just makes more sense and flows better and whatnot. So I'm probably going to try writing again next weekend because I'm currently in the middle of potty training, which is really interesting. And so there is no writing. This video is going up tomorrow morning. So I have to get this finished. Like, after this is my last clip for this vlog, and then this is getting uploaded and published. But yeah, definitely failed the writing challenge, but that's okay. I have also been like, I have fallen headfirst properly into the world of K-pop. I previously had listened to uh, like the 3 or so BTS songs that were in English. Um, but I never really delved too much into their other music. However, I started listening to Stray Kids, and their music just fits with my music taste. If you were to look at my music genres, it's basically like their sound fits with the type of music that I like to listen to. It's just mostly in Korean, which as a result has prompted me to want to learn Korean. Um, I've always loved the idea of learning multiple languages. I took 8 years of Spanish, but then I moved and stopped using it. So, like, any fluency that I may have had is drastically gone down. So I'm hoping to recover that and whatnot. But yeah, apparently Korean is now on my list, which will be fun. I've always said I would have loved to learn Japanese as well, just to be able to watch like animes in the original language and whatnot. So maybe that'll eventually be on my list. So yeah, those are the things that have been occupying my brain lately, but mostly just Stray Kids. But it's been fun. And it's just, uh, new inspiration as well, just from like the sounds that they have, because I take a lot of inspiration from like music and whatnot. So it's just been a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely don't have a great writing update for you. Like, it is what it is. That's the fun thing about writing and whatnot. It's very much a journey, and everybody is different, and you learn from your own personal experience. But yeah, it is what it is, and that's okay. Um, Definitely the goals that I had when I started this vlog versus what's happening now, totally different, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I just, I roll with the punches. Um, but yeah, that is it for this video, and I will see you guys in my next one, which means I should probably start reading and filming that vlog. That'll be the first proper vlog of the um, Sunrise on the Readathon challenge. Well, I can't believe I was blanking on that yet, but that'll be the first vlog for that. And also Herkyad, I believe, starts next week. Yeah, next week. So, can start counting books towards that as well. But yeah, that is it for this vlog at least. And if you guys liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If not, that's cool too. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!